And the match the other night in Philadelphia was even, I mean, it was even more special. It was more amazing because, you know, the Philadelphia fans, I mean, they have a, you know, they have a reputation of being pretty tough.
Yeah, they are.
They're sometimes tough on their own sports teams. I think they even were known as, they booed Santa Claus before, you know. So for me to get the kind of reaction and the kind of reception that I did from those great fans there in Philadelphia, first of all, that was amazing.
When you stood there and the fans were all yelling, Jerry, 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 I had mentioned to you that it felt like just one of those old school national Hulkamania moments. Well,
you know what? I had when I got back home the next morning, I had just on my Facebook, I counted it. I had 487 messages on Facebook. I can't tell you how many text messages, how many phone call messages, and that sort of thing that I had following that match. And I read every single one of them, and it was really interesting to one of the I guess the main thread that went through all of the messages was the fact that, I mean, I had people saying that, gosh, I believed in wrestling again for the first time in years. One guy said, I had not been that invested in a wrestling match, and I can't tell you how long. And you know, hey, it was just.
Actually, I'm one of those. Seriously.
Yeah, I had a guy telling me that. He said, before I knew it, he said, I'm watching with my whole family. He said, before I knew it, I was standing up with my arms up in the air in front of the TV, and I just realized, wow, I'm how into this match am I? You know, and so, but you know what? I got to tell you, it just, I got to give credit where credit is due. Michael Hayes had a huge hand in this. You know, I can't say enough about the Miz's performance. I mean, you know, the way he accepted the challenge and leading up to the match.
Well, he is awesome.
Well, I mean, let me just tell you, it was like the perfect storm. I mean, so many things came together. First of all, the very first of all was the fact that the WWE powers that be had enough faith in me as that at 61 years old, on my 61st birthday, they had enough faith in me to feel that I could pull off a WWE title match against a new champion who needed to needed to be impressive. I mean, this was the Miz's first title defense, but they had enough faith in me to be in that first title defense of the Miz's. Not only that, but to be the main event on a 3-hour Raw that was the King of the Ring tournament. I mean, you know, I was quite frankly, I was blown away by the fact that they had that much faith in me.
And it was the main event.
At that point, I just, you know, you had to then go above and beyond. You didn't want to let anybody down at this point.
Sure.
And
it was the main event because it was after the King of the Ring final match. Like again in old school wrestling, the main event was the last match.
Well, but I mean, you know, what's more important than the WWE title? I realize it was the King of the Ring tournament, but you know, a WWE title match, it has to be the main event. That's the crown jewel of the entire company. You know, so it was fitting and it was right. But for a 61-year-old guy to be in there, you know, a lot of people would say, "Hey, that's not right." So I knew that. I felt that. So it was just like, as I said, it was almost the perfect storm in the fact that the WWE and me and the Miz were able to create in that 2-hour span. You know, not the first hour, but in the 2-hour span of the time the challenge was made, the time that the Miz and I had our confrontation. The general manager comes on, makes the match. And then the WWE puts together this package of my career highlights. Arn Anderson was fabulous, you know, talking to me back in the locker room. I mean, all of these things just came together, honestly, Bill, to make it like the Rocky movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and the fact that it was on my birthday. It was all of those things where the people at home said, you know what? King may just really win this thing. He may be able to become the WWE champion on this night of nights in his career. The first time he's ever had a chance in 17 years. The first time he ever had a WWE title match. First tables, ladders, and chairs match he's ever been in. It's his birthday, and this is, it could happen.
Yeah, everything was just firing on. Everything was firing just right.
Yeah, and I think that's why everybody got so into this thing, And then, my gosh, the shock of shocks, the surprise ending was Michael Cole getting it. I mean, who would have, so totally unexpected. It was just,
Yeah.
The only thing to me that would have made it better, of course, is me winning the WWE title. That would have been a dream come true. But as it was, I was so proud. I was just so proud of the way it came off. I mean, it was just and everybody's part of.
Well, talking from someone who, as you know, came from that old school background, we were all very proud of you. We need to move on, Jerry, because we're just almost running out of time here. I wanted to talk to you about the other reason that, of course, the main reason that I had said, hey, can we talk about this thing, is you and I are both rabid fans of the old horror movies, a lot of the old westerns, and we were talking the other day, some trivia, you and I, about the Lone Ranger and Zorro. Zorro came up, and you said something to me about something your art talents are being given a great shot with Zorro. Tell us about that.
Well, the company Dynamite Comics is the company that puts out, they put out just a ton of titles, but a few of the titles happen to be Green Hornet comic books. They put out Lone Ranger comic books, and they also put out Zorro comic books. And they've just acquired the rights to Vampirella, which was one of my all-time favorite comic book characters. And so, I mean, there's a tremendous comic book company. They're based out of New Jersey, right near Philadelphia there, Dynamite Comics, and you can go to your comic book stores and see all of their great comics. But anyway, I did some work for them recently on one of the Green Hornet comic books, and now I've done a painting that is going to be used as one of the Zorro comic book covers. As a matter of fact, I think this coming Monday they're going to be announcing it's a new series, a new comic book series called The Death of Zorro. And and Alex Ross, which is one of the best-known comic book artists of all time, Alex Ross works for Dynamite Comics, and he's going to be doing some of the covers. And one of my covers is going to be used on this new edition of Zorro comics.
Oh,
so I'm really, really excited about
incredible.
that. I mean, to have my work out there, especially it's like it's almost like the match with The Miz, to get to be involved with anything with the WWE champion is great. Well, to have your artwork featured along with a guy like Alex Ross is just phenomenal. And of course, to be a part of a Zorro comic book. I also did a couple of covers recently for the WWE Heroes comic book that turned out really great. We were at the San Diego Comic Con with those, and I'm sort of getting my foot in the door on these in the comic book industry, and I'm really, really enjoying that. That's something that that I've done on and off, but really wanted to do my entire life.
Where can everybody find you on the web so they can keep in touch with all the great artwork, the wrestling,
well, of course,
everything?
I have my own website, which is KingJerryLawler.com, and then you can check out Dynamite Comics on the web, and they have all the information. As a matter of fact, I've got to do an interview with them tomorrow about the upcoming Zorro cover. They're going to be talking about and announcing the Death of Zorro series this coming Monday, as a matter of fact.
Okay, Jerry Lawler, I want to thank you so much, and maybe this time next year we'll talk again, and you'll be getting a rematch for the WWE title, no matter who the champion is at that time.
Well, you know what's going to happen? Tickets go on sale this Saturday, December 4th, for a big Raw event is coming to my hometown of Memphis, January the 9th, first part of next year. And man,
2011.
Boy, what a great place to have a rematch against The Miz here at the FedEx Forum in my own hometown.
Now wait a minute. What if people are listening to this after that date?
Well, and more power to them. I don't know.
Do we say congratulations, champ? Okay,
great?
all right.
Well, I don't even know if I'm going to be booked on the card, but I mean, the last time we were in Memphis, I got to wrestle Edge, and it was a great match, and just a tremendous response, from my hometown fans here. So, man, a rematch with The Miz would be tremendous here in Memphis.
Jerry the King Lawler, thank you so much. For OneWrestling.com, this is Bill Apter and Jerry the King Lawler, and we'll see you at the matches.